Welcome from our houses to yours, or your cars, or
Big screen.
wherever you are, we're there with you, right in your eardrums. I'm Champ Champenstein.
I'm Heather Hadfield.
And this is Talk Comics to Me, and we're here to talk about comic books. Every week or every other week or so, we just talk about these new books we get, and it is top-notch stuff, let me tell you that.
We're really good at our job.
This is our job.
Yeah, of course. We get paid for this.
Kind of.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I have sorry, the screen is weird. I'm not used to recording at this level. This is Nobody's Girl. This is issue number 1. It is a Sumerian book, which is no longer Behemoth, which is what the line was called before. They changed it. I don't know why. Didn't look into it. But this is the story of a man who rents a naughty tape from a video store and watches it, and it is not what he asked for. He thinks it's a snuff film, so he tries to do some investigating because the person in the film he discovers as a real person who had gone missing. So a neighbor kid, I think she's a kid, I'm not quite sure, teenager, late teenager at the smallest age, but she wants to help him because she knows who that person is who went missing, and kind of discovers what he's doing. So they're investigating a potential snuff film.
Okay, interesting.
It's I didn't hate it. I was a little disturbed by the fact that this potentially teenage girl was spying on him while he's watching this porn.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then afterwards is like, hey, let me help you. And he's just like, oh, okay. It was a little weird, but the story itself is pretty intriguing and stuff, especially because I don't know, it's a very interesting idea, I think, of him wanting to get to the bottom of this tape. The art is not my favorite, but it's not bad. I think it fits for the tone of the story that it's going for, but I don't know, it's black and white, so that's all. That's all I have to say about the art. I didn't hate it. I special ordered this first one, so I think I'm going to special order the second one just because I am curious, and I'm just not sure how many issues there were supposed to be, probably 4 or 5, but I'll decide on that once I get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It's a lot smaller than the average comic as well.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It was confusing to me. I was like, what the heck is this small book? And it's a book about a snuff film. So, my life.
Truly, though, I feel like. Okay, so I have this trade that I got at the beginning of August, but now I've just finally had the time to read. It is Supergirl. What is it? Woman of Tomorrow. It is just a Western story told from the point of view of a young woman who enlists Supergirl to help her take revenge on the man who killed her father.
Okay.
And that's that. I the art is just phenomenal. That is honestly the best part of this book. It looks just insanely good. It's not bad either. It's an enjoyable book.
I've heard good things about it. I've had it recommended to me a couple times.
Yeah, which is why I finally ended up reading it, because I did have somebody recommend it to me several times, and I was like, fine, I'll do it. And I'm enjoying it for the most part. I can't say that I'm not. So
okay, well, that's good then. You didn't waste your time or money on that.
Yeah, not yet. We'll see as I go. I'm only about maybe halfway through, maybe a little over halfway. So
okay.
Next, I have Doctor Strange. This is Fall Sunrise. This is a book by Trad Moore and Heather Moore. This is just about Doctor Strange getting caught in like another dimension. I don't know. This book is like looks fucking bananas. I feel like even better than Silver Surfer Black looked.
Mm-hmm.
The story was like,
Chad Moore.
yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Yeah, but the art and the colors itself are just like some of the best parts. There's just it's just really good comics. I would highly suggest it. Though I feel like you have to be prepared for how like weird and trippy it is, and I don't think I understood what was going on, but I'll go back, maybe.
Okay.
It's Doctor Strange. Do I really want to take the time to go back and read it?
Probably not.
Yeah, but I might, just because I read it like Tuesday, so it's
Mm-hmm.
also part of the reason. Like, I don't know, it looked great though.
Is it a limited?
Yeah, I think it's only 4 issues,
Okay.
and there's like it's not like super thick, but there is a lot to the story itself.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to read it a couple days ago. Right, yesterday. I worked yesterday. Yesterday I wanted to read it and there were none. So
Makes sense.
yeah.
I've been looking forward to this one for a little bit since it came out in previews. So, like, actually finally having it was like, this is just as awesome as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad.
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, so now we have Detective. This is what, 1066.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 covers.
Look how good that one is.
Yes,
So good.
too good to pass up, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just continuing Ramsey's detective. You find out. I don't know if you really find out as much anything as like the story is just kind of like pushed along.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's a
So,
lot of Two-Face in it.
mhm.
The second story as well is him, I guess, battling with the demon that's in his head.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, there's really not much to say about it. They're kind of discovering, or not discovering, but figuring out what Talia's whole thing is.
I say, or like what the orgam are,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, because it's all like stuff we know, but I guess not necessarily like the Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
The
Oh, and
Batman.
Gordon's back, so
Yeah.
that's cool. He wasn't gone very long, but he's back. He just couldn't stay away.
Yeah, since that all like took place in that Joker book, I have no idea about. I'm just like, oh, okay, he's back. I didn't really, I guess, have any knowledge that he was gone.
Yeah, I didn't either. Or like how long exactly he's been gone. He just said like, "Oh, I guess I'm back," and I was like, I thought he's been back because we've also been reading in the back stories of him, so it didn't seem
True.
like he was gone at all. But I
He's
suppose
back.
he's back. All right. I have X-Force. This is issue number 34. A lot kind of goes on in here. Maverick is in here and he's leading a team to do Maverick stuff, but he's on the Krakoan like payroll at this point, so they're working for him. Sage is kind of explaining how she deals with like knowing what she knows and why she drinks as much as she does. There's like there's a I mentioned last time when I got this book that I am kind of bored by it, and I am. But the best thing that I have read in here is, I'll just kind of show you the page. She is, drinking to get by, I guess. And Omega Red is just like very annoyed by what she's doing. And so he's trying to like get her up and get her going. I just thought it was a very good uh, slice of his character, I guess, because he is helping her the way that she wanted him to help other people. So
Mhm.
otherwise, I just don't really care about what's going on. Solem is in here at the end. They're kind of touch on the experiments that Beast is doing behind everyone's back, including X-Force, but Solem knows about it. So there's obviously going to be some stuff that happens and some reveals with him, but that's kind of how it ends.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take it off my poll.
Okay. That makes sense. You've gone
Yeah,
for a really long time.
I'm pretty over it now. Like, I think I got out of it what I wanted. It's not bad. Like, it's
Mhm.
just, I just don't really care to keep up with it anymore with everything else that I've been reading. It doesn't grab me like it did in the beginning, because I really, really
Yeah.
liked it in the beginning. But then when we went on that like break, I think at the beginning of the pandemic, when it didn't come back for a really long time,
Mhm.
I just kind of lost interest. So it's just an X-Force book.
You get it? Get
Yeah.
it? Okay, this is Daredevil. This is issue number 5. So last issue, Matt and Elektra got married so that they could make the like power of the fist. And so now everybody has the power of the fist that like they recruit. And in this issue, they do a prison break. And then the Avengers are gonna be out to get them. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's not like I don't like that book, but I don't know how much longer I can hold on.
I mean, you've
So
also been doing that one for a while, and they started it from the beginning again, which,
yeah, and it really feels like it's like it's gone somewhere, but it's like I don't know if I care where it's gone. Part of me does, just because there is like the intriguing notion of like what's going on. I
mm-hmm.
do I do find it kind of silly that like everybody has powers.
Yeah.
Like Foggy has powers, like Detective Cole has powers now, like they're all just,
And it's all from the
more,
marriage.
yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, that seems a bit silly.
So it's like, yeah, it's like not bad. The art is still like great. Uh I don't know. I like some things that are being said here, but it's also just like, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'll keep reading it. My best friend Chip.
We love Chip.
We love Chip, so I'll just keep going. No one can stop me. Next I have the Human Target. This is issue number 9. So we're getting pretty close to the end, 3 more issues. This issue is really interesting because he thinks that Batman is after them. So it's like all about like what Batman would think, how he's probably going, like where he is. So like the Human Target, why do I always forget his name? But it's fine. I won't think about it anymore. Um his perspective is just like so, yeah, hyper paranoid, and when you get to the end it's like a very interesting like reveal on like what's probably happening. I just really liked it because the whole time you're not like sure who he's talking about, but you have a pretty good idea because Batman is also on the cover. And a particular like customer of ours was like complaining about like how Batman was on the cover, but he wasn't in the book itself. But the funny thing is, it's like still like all about Batman.
Yeah.
So it was just like I thought it was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that aspect of it.
It's kind of
Um,
clever.
yeah, it was pretty fun. Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, this is Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. Issue number 1.
It's number 1. This is a Boom book. This is Jason Aaron, Alexander Tefengi, Lee Lockridge, Nick Dragotta, and Rico Renzi. Did I get all of them? Yeah. This is book 1. It's called Love in the Wasteland, and it's just an introduction, obviously, to the story. You meet the 2 main characters who are surviving in a post-apocalyptic world. That's all.
Yeah, that's really it. I love the art. Like, I love the art a lot. That was probably my favorite part of the whole entire book. It's, I don't know, I felt really burned by Sea of Stars.
Yeah, and it's, see, I liked it, but there was just something about it that I'm like, I don't know if I like it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I came out of it, because it was just like, I thought it was an intriguing idea. I don't know if I like the characters that much.
Yes.
I think that was really it. It's like they're not very, neither one of them are very likable. And I think I was supposed to find them like quirky.
One of my least favorite things that people do with characters in like post-apocalyptic stories, especially with like the I guess femme or like lady side of it, is they always make her like a hard ass who doesn't care about anything. And I get it, but it's just not very realistic with that type of thing. And they always make like the boy character more like kind of ditzy, I guess. And that's why it's like a cute love story, is because it's like 2 opposite sides. It's like, no, you don't have to do that for like every character. And I do notice that it is like that in a lot of these types of stories. And I'm just kind of over it. Like, I want something different from those kinds of characters.
I can 100% agree with you. And I think that's like a fairly solid like way to look at it, because I think that was my main problem with it as well.
Yeah, like how many times have we seen these characters and like this kind of love story? Like, and I think that's probably the thing that pulled me out of it, because again, I did like the story. I thought it was interesting. I like the art a lot for it. I'm interested to see like where it goes, but I'm just not into the characters, which is hard with a book like this, because that's why you're reading it, is because of the characters.
It's very character driven. Like they are the like main focal point of everything here.
So I don't know, maybe the second issue will bring more clarity and make it easier to read. I don't know, but yeah, same. I feel kind of burned.
Yeah, I just read it and I was like,
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a limited series, right?
I honestly do not remember.
I don't either.
I special ordered the first one, and I did end up special ordering the second one. So
I'll look into it like once we're done with this, because I did have someone ask me that yesterday. They were like, "This is ongoing, right?" And I was like, "I don't know. I have no idea." So
well, it's so hard to tell right now too. It's just like sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
Right. And sometimes they don't even say, like, if it's limited, that doesn't say that. Whatever. Okay, so I have Orc Island. This is issue number 4. This is the last one of the series. Sagan. Jesus Christ. Scratching at my front door. Sorry, me. Okay, this is Orc Island, issue number 4. This is the last issue of this particular series, and I think I like this issue better than any of the other ones in the series. I'm obsessed with this cover. I don't know why. I love this cover so much. It's so good. But this just
it's probably the best cover of the series, honestly.
It's so good. There's just something about it. But it follows the main character who just watched the rest of his team get murdered by orcs for what they were doing to the orcs on the island. They let him live because when they showed him the song of their people, he got emotional from it because he understood what they were saying, and so that meant something to them. That meant that he had a heart, whereas the other ones like didn't. So they let him go, but they tell him like, you have to figure out your own way off the island. Like, we're not going to help you with that. We're just letting you live. But on the island, there's like a war going on between like all of the other orcs and stuff. So first he has to survive that. So he ends up taking the skull of the orc that he had killed in that one issue where all the kids got killed. And his goal is to take it to a well where all the other like medicine orcs are like buried, where their skulls are kept afterwards so that they can meet their gods. So he goes to take it there, and stuff ends up happening, and spoiler, he does end up dying. Like, that's how the story ends, is he dies. But it's like, it's so cool how it happens, because he gets thrown after he gets out of the well, after leaving the skull there, he gets thrown back into it. And so he's like dying, like hitting stuff on the way down, but their god is talking to him and saying like, all you have to do is just like give in to us, like just let go, because he is, his entire life he's been a survivor. That's like how he got to where he was. And like, then it turns so you fall down the well with him.
Cool.
Which, yeah, I thought was really, really cool. And the last line of the book just killed me. It says, how do you feel? And this is after he's been like decapitated and his body's like down there and he's technically dead. And the god's like, yeah, how do you feel? And he says, I feel beautiful. And then he's just dead, which I thought was really, really cool. And then he says, I feel safe, I feel full. And the god says, and you'll never be hungry again. That's, yeah. The ending of this was really, really cool. And I think overall the story was interesting because it took a turn kind of that I wasn't expecting. But it was, there were parts that were a bit much for me. And maybe I'm softer in my old age, because I feel like before I would have been able to handle some of the stuff that happened, but seeing it the way that it is here, like not censored at all, was a little rough for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, overall I thought the story was decent. But again, the ending was the best part to me, because all those people are bad and none of them made it off the island.
Nice.
Yeah. Still paid too much for it, but you know.
It's fine. You got like a couple more coming, right?
Yeah, I think I have one more series, and that's the series that is done by the people who did Odin's Eye, like the whole team.
Oh, okay.
Like this one, I think was just the writer.
Yeah.
There's something weird, but yeah, the other one is the exact same team that did Odin's Eye. So.
Okay. I have Eve, Children of the Moon. This is issue number 2. This is a continuation of a story called Eve that I read a couple years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah, I feel like that was last year.
I feel like it was before last year, but
yeah, time moves weird now. It was
a while. I know at least we were in this house for a couple issues. But yeah, this is just a continuation of this story. They come across these children who have been living in this like area kind of separate. They witnessed, or their leader witnessed, the murder of Eve's father at the hands of like the little bear robot that's with her. And so like they do not trust either of the, like they don't trust Eve or like Wexler or anybody. Wexler's the robot. And they just like this is just like the telling of that story of like them witnessing that and kind of like creating this, basically their own lore out of it, because they like separated from all the other groups and took care of one another, whereas like the other groups were more dependent on like one another, or basically failed. And so yeah, they just don't trust what's going on here.
Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, I like I said, I really liked it, but I really like it, but I just don't feel like I needed it. Like more than anything is like I knew the last one left off where it was really easy to like make another one, and it was probably supposed to be that way, but it's just like, I don't know, make up my own
That makes
little.
sometimes they do that where they just like add another series to the story and it's just not completely necessary. And I don't know why
Mhm.
they do that kind of stuff. I mean, I do money, but you know.
Yeah. So it's not bad. It's like I enjoy it. I'm sure if I had like gone back and read like the first little Eve story arc, maybe I would like enjoy it more
Hmm.
and feel like it's necessary more, but maybe by this time I've just kind of lost that book and that story in the back of my brain to like other stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right.
Okay, so
It
now
is.
we've got it. Okay, yeah, we've got Creepshow. This is issue number 3. This has got a little story by El Marlo Francavilla and Francesco Francavilla, uh, Ariella Cristatina. That one I fucked up, and Jorge Corona.
Yeah, it's just, Creepshow. There's just two stories in here of the horror genre.
Yeah, I really like the first one by the Francavillas, just because Francesco Francavilla often like when I was following him on social media was always posting about like raccoons
Uh-huh.
in the back of his house.
That's
So
cute.
I really I really liked how like that kind of like incorporated that aspect of it. Um Second one was also just like interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for being how short they are, they do a good job of like telling you the story in a way without
Hmm.
like giving you too much of it. So I do like that aspect of it, but I did like the first one way more, and it's just because Frank Villa's art.
Yeah, it's so
Not
good.
just
And
because of that, but that is a big part of
I
it.
said the story was also like really fun and really
Hmm.
reminded me of like Creepshow like a lot.
Yeah, it was really
Like
good, but
this was yeah, probably my favorite like issue so far or story so far.
yeah, because I mean, the art, even in the second one, while I didn't like that one as much, like it looked really good still. So
Mhm.
there's that.
Okay, so next we have Hitomi. This is issue number 2.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, not a lot here, just learning the trade or trying to learn the trade of being a samurai.
Hmm. It's a revenge story in a way. I guess it started as like that's what it was going to be 100%,
Mhm.
but now things have changed a little bit, and it's just yeah, her trying to become a samurai.
Yeah, the art in this is like phenomenal. I really do love it a lot.
Oh yeah, I do too. I really like the colors for it and like how soft it looks.
Hmm. I feel like it just really brings like the story together itself. Like it
Hmm.
really uh, flows really great. Yeah, I am interested to see like what happens because obviously, she's learning this trade for a reason that he's not like fully aware of.
Hmm.
Or maybe he is and just it's like fuck it.
My cat is being crazy next to me. I had to push her away. Okay, do you want to go first or do you want me?
You can go first, that's fine.
Okay, since we can't really talk about these two because we both had the same incidents here, um, I got this one. Champ didn't pick it up.
Forgot.
Did get it, but just didn't buy it. It was a whole thing. This is what's the furthest place from here. It's issue number 8. This issue just gives you the origin of how the group we've been following, how they came to be. So like how each of the members ended up like at the record shop.
Okay.
It's really good.
Well, it sounds interesting. Yeah, I'm really sad I forgot to grab that.
And the art, it is a different artist this time. Um, right? Yeah, yeah. But it's still just hold on. Let me turn to a page that doesn't spoil anything. Okay, there we go. It looks great.
Okay, who's the artist?
Um, Ricardo Lopez Ortiz.
Okay.
I don't know. That's it's confusing on here for me because then it says with Tyler Boss and Matthew Rosenberg storytelling, and Hassan Otsmain Elhau for lettering, and then Roman Titov for the coloring. So it's like all the same otherwise, but it's yeah, Ricardo Lopez Ortiz with the rest of the group. So it was kind of confusing, but yeah, this I think this is probably one of my favorite issues so far, just because they're when they introduce some of the characters that we've been following this whole time, it's incredible.
All right. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, you're gonna like it, or I hope. I don't want to say that because I don't know, but I think you will.
Yeah, I think I will too. Okay, so then one that Heather forgot to get as well. This is Stuff of Nightmares. This is issue number 3. One more issue, I think, is
Yeah.
in this. And yeah, this just kind of continues the story of the brothers and basically this telling of Frankenstein. I don't know. I really like this book a lot. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just like a lot of fun and it's kind of like silly.
It's an R.L. Stein story.
Yeah, and I think it's just like everything I wanted out of a book like that as like an adult. So
Yeah. No, I forgot to add that to my poll. Like I just forgot. So I didn't technically get it, but I asked Wendy if I could grab a copy yesterday. No, Tuesday. It was no, it would have been I don't remember. Anyway, one of the days. I was like, can I just grab one because I keep forgetting to add it to my poll, but I want to read it. So I just grabbed one. I will read it, I swear.
Say, I think if you're an R.L. Stein R.L. Stein fan, it's a good be a good pickup. I really like the art too. I think it really fits like with like the story being told and like I don't know the time frame of what it feels like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, definitely. I get that.
So, all right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so this is mindset number 5. It's getting down to the wire.
Which you've been watching.
Yeah, which I have been watching. Not this is nothing like The Wire, but this issue was probably my favorite issue out of all of the like issues themselves because you get a better grip about like what's going on, I think.
Right. Yeah, the events that are taking place and like why they are happening the way that they are. It is I wouldn't say confusing necessarily because they do a really good job of like explaining exactly what's happening, but the whole like I imagine as I was reading this, like how police always have that like billboard that has all of the like red strings going. Like, so that's how my brain felt while I was reading this, like trying to figure out like who was doing what to who and why, and like yeah.
It's
just really good though.
I would say this has been a really like fun little ride. I'm really glad I like stayed on this. Because like there are points where I was like, I don't know, like, do I really want to do this book? Like I enjoy it as a whole, but
it's dense.
I would say it's a lot to read. And
yeah, it started out like I think for the first 2 issues, it was like way more than you want to read for that type of book, but it's worth it. Like once you get into the story, it like makes sense why there's that much information. It's just daunting when you open the first issue and you have to read that much.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so then last we've got Department of Truth. This is issue number 22.
Dang, 22 issues.
Yeah, and this is I believe the end of a story arc here, and I don't know, I don't really have a lot to say about it because I think we've said everything we've ever wanted to say about like Department of Truth. But I really love like the twists and turns and like how I'm interested to see like the next steps and like what happens because it feels like it could end or it feels like it's ending something that's like a little bit bigger to like do something more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the characters a lot in this. Like Cole, I think, is a very good character to follow. And I
Mhm.
like that they started with him and then his relationship with his husband and how that is affecting like not only his decisions, but the stuff that's happening within the story with the different
Yeah.
departments, you know? It's they do a really good job of building these characters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's Forever Truth. 22 issues. I'm wondering if they're gonna do another like flashback sort of arc at all, or if they are just gonna get into like the meat and the bones of like what happens next.
I would like another flashback. Just I do like the story and I want the story to continue. Obviously, I want to get more of that, but I do like how the flashbacks um, give you juicy bits and it's always like a different artist and stuff like that. I like the way
Mhm.
they do that and it looks. And so I do want that. I want to see something else, but I also wouldn't mind if they just continued on with the story and gave us the main plot.
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, that's it. That's all we've got.
That's it.
That's it. So go support your local comic book shops, take care of each other, do good things, be excellent to one another, as Bill and Ted say.
Yes.
Heather, anything good over there?
It is the holiday season, as all of you know. So if you're out doing shopping and stuff, please be patient with the workers and stuff at the businesses you shop at. Um, Treat them how you would treat your family members that you like. So just be kind to them because they are going through a lot right now and they're not having a good time. So
Yeah, I agree
that's
with
all.
that. All right. Well, then we'll see everybody on the flippity flip.